Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, we are continuing on with our educational series, How to Build an Online Business with the MyListing WordPress theme. As I have with the previous videos in this series, we will be using the MyListing project template, which you can get from the MyListing Club website. That's mylisting.club by scrolling down the homepage just a little bit and clicking on the MyListing project template card. This page tells you a little bit about the project template and gives you a walkthrough video. You're also going to see firsthand what this template looks like as we do this video here. You can get your hands on the project template as a one-off purchase, or it comes with a MyListing starter site purchase. If you want continuous access to this template to get any changes that I make going forward, you can do that get that as an ultimate member, or by signing up for my MyListing Care Plan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop this off. And here we are looking at the project template and where we left off from the last video. I did do just some very minor reshuffling here, just based on some experience as I've gone along with this video series and just thinking a little bit more about this. So what I've done here is moved up the Elementor Experiments to the top here, and followed by the coming soon mode. And as we go through these two tasks, I'll explain why that is. Okay. So also what changed since the last video, I've changed a little bit of the branding for this starter site that we're building together. And so I've changed the favicon to be black with a different font. Before it was red with kind of a not quite of a script font, but just a little bit more of a playful font that I didn't really want to be on the site. The other thing too is I thought more about it, and rather than going with a red color scheme, I've decided to go with more of a neutral, bolder, like bigger, block letters, like blacks, whites, grays, maybe some gradients thrown in here and there, just like one or two other splash colors. But as you find when you do these projects yourself, if you don't already know, nothing you decide on at the very beginning it sticks 100% of the time. You're going to make changes. So I might make more again, but I think this is we're off to a good start. And let's go ahead and get into this. Looking first at the Elementor Experiments card. I put this at the very top because there are a couple reasons. One of which there's one in particular that I want you to look at before you start building your pages and stuff. And that is the additional custom breakpoints experiment. So I put this card at the top because I wanted you to get that in right away and not miss it before you start building your coming soon page. Okay, that was one of the reasons there. So let's go ahead and look at what these are. Under your WordPress dashboard, if you go to Elementor and then Settings, and then Experiments. So these are all enabled by default. What I recommend and what I do for my own sites and for client sites is I go in here and the very first thing I do is disable all of the experiments. And let's get into why that is. So looking at first the ongoing experiments, these are what Elementor is testing, kind of. They're unstable. I mean, they're called experiments for a reason, but there's the ongoing and there's stable. Even stable is an experiment. There's a reason why they're called experiments. But these are more stable than these ongoing ones up here at the top. So again, I recommend deactivating all of these experiments to start with. And the reason for that is because you could break your site if you don't know what you're doing. So if you, for example, if you toggle on improved asset loading up here at the top, you could break something and not even know. You have to know what to look for on your website. The other thing too is that each one of these that you activate not only potentially causes a conflict with your site, but it's a small performance ding. You know, there has to be something in this. If you think about it, there has to be something in the system somewhere that knows this thing's loading, has to know to call it up and all of that stuff. Everything is a small little ding. On their own, it's not that big of a deal. But when you add everything up, across your site, whether it's WooCommerce, MyListing, WordPress, Elementor, all of that stuff. All of those little, what I call performance dings, they add up, and you want to just try to keep those to a minimum. Okay, so again, deactivate all experiments. Then I recommend under stable, coming down here, toggling on these top two. Okay, at a minimum in this section. If you're gonna think about toggling on any other ones, just make sure you're absolutely going to use it. Don't toggle it on until you need to use it. One other one I would like to mention under stable is form submissions. If you use Elementor Pro Forms like I like to do and replace Contact Form 7, this is a really cool thing to have potentially, because you can show your listing owners that they are getting form submissions when they say they're not. So they could come to you and say, hey, you know, we're not getting our submissions, and you could look in the database where Elementor stores these form submissions and say, hey, I see that you are getting them. Another cool thing for having these is you could use them as kind of like analytics or metrics, and show your potential partners or your potential customers that, hey, look at all of the form submissions that are being submitted to your competitors or that are listed on my site, that sort of thing. It's really cool stuff there. Do note that it is a hit on your database. All of the form submissions are stored in tables in your database. So something to think about there. Just don't turn this stuff on unless you need it. So we turned on these top two under stable. Up under ongoing, I want you to turn on additional custom breakpoints. And I'm going to show you what that is in a second. But those are the three that I always start with, okay? For client sites, especially that aren't under my management. Maybe I build the site for them. Everything else, it just depends on the project, depends on the client. Lots of dependencies. But that's my typical setup right there. So we're going to save our changes. All right, now that satisfied that card. So let's go on to coming soon mode. So I moved this so close to the top because you want to stop those search engine bots from hitting your site and collecting the data that's not quite ready for you to publish. And probably more importantly, or equally as important, is you don't want people to stumble upon your site and see you working in real time on your site. So that's what that's for. So if we take a look at our site now with coming soon mode turned off, let's see how that looks to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a browser tab in incognito mode here. All right, here you go. This is what your visitors would see. You know, not very pretty. Blank pages, menus all messed up. They might try to sign in when you're not ready. The footer looks messed up. Just not a good look. They might try to do a search here. So we want to take that out of the equation, okay, and give them something prettier to look at, and also get them signing up for your newsletter, get them into your email marketing, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and look at that. So that is done under, we're going to look at our template first. So the first thing you need to do is either create your coming soon template from scratch. You can import some of the templates from the club. You can import templates from Elementor Pro or some other resource that provides templates. So we're going to go into our templates here. Before this video, I already created one, but I'm going to walk you through it a bit. So let's edit this template. All right, so one of the key things you want to do with your coming soon page is you want to go down here in the Elementor sidebar here and click this little cog wheel, this little settings wheel, and you want to change your page layout from default to canvas. What that does is disables the header and the footer. And I showed you previously why you want to do that, but I'll show you really quick. If you were to toggle this back on to default, you'll see we've got the header there and then the footer down there. That's what we don't want that. So when you toggle on the page layout over to canvas, that gets rid of both of those, okay? So that's what we want. That's a key thing to look at there. The other thing is that additional breakpoints experiment that I mentioned. So to get to that, you look at this responsive mode icon in the Elementor sidebar, click on that, and then in the top right, there's going to be another cogwheel manage breakpoints. Click on that. And then under active breakpoints, I like to add the laptop one. That's not in there by default. So when I'm done, this is what I see: mobile, tablet, and laptop. Desktop is already a given. So when I'm designing, I design on desktop, laptop, tablet, mobile. Those are the 4 that I do. And you can get even crazier. You can do mobile extra, tablet extra, widescreen. Just totally depends on the project and your design style preferences. Okay, so I'm going to save this again. And let's go ahead and look at this template. So what I have here is a form that is to be used to collect email addresses, to keep people abreast of when you're launching your site, offer founding member deals, offer a freebie while they wait for your launch, that sort of thing. And for that, I've under actions after submit, I've taken out all the actions, which is form submission and email. I don't want to have an email sent to me, and I don't want to collect the forms. I just want to dump them, in this particular case, into MailChimp as an example. And then once you do that, it unlocks MailChimp as the action. And then you just plug in, you choose custom here and plug in your own API key. And just that easy, you've got them going into your email marketing. Okay. What else did I want to show on this page? That was the key point. But this template's going. Oh, let me just show you the responsive mode. You can see this at the very top here. This is their responsive mode, so you can toggle between them. So you can see I still have some work to do. I just did this on the desktop to start, but this template will be available, as all my templates are. You can grab this from the MyListing Club website and use it on your site if you want. And then obviously it will be built into the starter site when that launches. But yeah, just some cool stuff here. Pretty happy with where this is going. It's a pretty neat design. But this is kind of how I envision the site to look. Not necessarily dark mode, but like lots of blacks, big bold whites, this gradient, either this gradient color or breaking them out, the green by itself, the blue by itself. Yeah, that's the plan. As always, subject to change. Yeah, let me go back here and make sure there's nothing else that I wanted to mention. Oh, yes. So you might notice, whenever you try to, this might be the first opportunity you have, this is the first opportunity you have if you're following the template in order to upload an image. Let me just see if I can, there we go. Sorry, I got to do that because this video recording software I use has a little issue. I have to get out of full mode and then back into it. But anyway, so this might be the first opportunity you have to upload an image. So if we do that, so let's drag over an image widget. Let's just say we wanted to add our logo to the top of this. Now, let's say we try to bring over, actually, I'm going to toggle this setting back off here. All right, sorry, in my testing, I forgot that I enabled that. Let me go ahead and just refresh this page. Okay. So backing up again, let's say this is our first opportunity that we're taking to try to put an image in here. We're going to try to put our logo in here. So when we do that, let's choose an SVG. So this is an SVG here. We see that .svg. Insert media. Yeah. See, I think because I already toggled that on once, it won't allow me to get that prompt back. Maybe if I try to upload it. There we go. If you can't see your SVGs, then on your workstation, just make sure you filter by all files. So here's my SVG. If I click on that, yeah, it's not going to let me bring it in from the WordPress side. Yeah, dang it. I wanted to show you that message that appears, but anyway, no big deal. You'll see it. It's just a message about enabling filtered uploads. You just want to go ahead and enable that if SVGs is something you want to use, and you should definitely use. As I mentioned here in this card, SVGs are ideal for illustrations like logos, icons, and graphs. Okay. Let me see. Again, I'll mention that you can get coming soon templates from the MyListing Club. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you get your hands on the template, you'll get all of the finer details. But I think that is all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for understanding me switching some of these cards around. They're 98% accurate, as I keep saying in these videos, but as I do this, I'm learning that maybe a couple of the cards need to be shifted around a little bit. So I don't know. It's all part of the process, all part of learning, and we are learning together. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you know when the next videos come out. I don't know what's coming up next in terms of everything that's in the next video. As you see here, we've got the logo, custom header, custom footer, things of that nature. So I'm going to determine how I'm going to break these up. But yeah, good stuff coming. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.